Hello everyone, welcome back to Tractor Tales and Cattle Tales. I'm Bryce. Today we're back in the shop working on the 46 Allis Chalmers WC some more. And if you've been following along the last couple episodes, we've put a KBS Coatings fuel tank liner in this fuel tank. And we leak tested it and everything's good. So next step, we're going to make it look a little prettier. We'll start this video off with a quick little tool haul from the other day. I went to town and picked up a few things. So I got all this stuff come from Harbor Freight, well, except the last little bit. We got a mixing board. And we've got the Pittsburgh 4-piece body filler applicator set. You guys can tell what we're going to do. And we've got the 17-inch auto body hand sander. And a couple different rolls of sandpaper for it. I got 80 grit and 120. That's all they had. I was wanting some like 200 or 220 as well. But this is all they had stock. Oops, drop it on the floor. And a can of Mondo body filler. And then while I was in town, I also went to the farm store, picked up some primer and some paint. They didn't have Persian Orange #1. It's getting pretty hard to find around here, so this tractor here we're going to do with Persian Orange #2. I like that color a little better anyway. It's a little brighter. So pick that up. Got that all over the weekend, and then Monday, when our Snap-on dealer come by, he knows I'm a sucker for a sale. He had all pliers, buy two get one free. So I've got the 45-degree angle long reach needle nose and the straight ones to go with it. And I got the long side cutters for free. So anyway, throw those in with it. So we're gonna get started here. I'm gonna take this tank. We'll clean up all the tape residue, and clean all that up, and then I'm gonna bring my orbital sander in here and take some 80 grit and scuff it back up where that body filler will stick to it a little better. So let's get started. Okay, again, I apologize if the fan is making a little noise in the background. It's only about 86 degrees, cool front come through. But it rained and it's kind of humid. There's not a whole lot of airflow in this old shop. So I think this mineral spirits should do a pretty good job of cutting that residue off of there. We'll go get the sander, and I'm going to rough that up a little again. It's pretty smooth in a lot of places. I'm not sure how well that body filler will stick to that smooth metal. We're going to use 80 grit. That should scuff it up good enough, I think. I'm not a paint and body guy, I'll admit it. But we're going to see how it works. Excuse my mess here. My two normal workbenches, one of them's got the transmission out of the Cub lowboy torn apart on it, and the other one's got the touch control hydraulic unit out of the lowboy torn apart on it. So we're working with what we have today. I've been stirring on the body filler for the last few minutes. About got it all mixed up. Give it one more quick stir and we'll start mixing some up. Just as a disclaimer, if I look like I don't know what I'm doing at this point, I don't. This is purely entertainment. Because I have never done any kind of body work at all. But we're going to see what happens. Okay, I screwed up the first time. We're gonna try this again. I think I put a little too much hardener in it last time. Okay, I'm not a body work guy. I had intentions of going over this whole tank and filling in all the rust pitting in it, but I discovered I'm not very good at that. So there was a bunch of real heavy pitting in here. I've got it kind of all filled in. There was a dent right here, and there was a dent on the bottom down there that I kind of filled in. So I think we're going to let that cure, sand it all down, smooth it out, and we're just going to leave it like that. While that's curing, I'll go out and clean all my tools up. And we will come back and sand it down and go from there. I'm not sure how much this footage of applying that is going to get into this video, because that was an epic fail. I am not a paint and body guy, but I got the 2 dents filled in. I got most of the rust pitting filled in. It's starting to get hard. Let's sand it off and see how bad I screwed up. filler sanded off. Did a pretty good job filling in the dents. Like I said before, I'm not a body guy. I'm gonna shoot some primer on this now. I think what little rust pitting is left, I think the primer will fill in, and if it doesn't have to be perfect. This is a working tractor. If it was a show tractor, I'd probably have a buddy of mine do it professionally with his paint gun. We're just shining it up, make a working tractor out of it. So let's see. Those things are a joke. Okay, it's the next day now. I went ahead and let this cure overnight. So, turned out pretty good. I was a little worried about it at first, but got back out here today and I think it turned out pretty nice. So, now we're gonna go over with the first coat of Persian orange number 2. Open the door up a little, get a little ventilation in here. Let's shoot some paint. Hope we don't have a heifer try to come through the door in the process. Okay, we got 2 coats of paint on the tank so far. And that may be all we do. I've got another can of paint, but I'm gonna let it dry overnight and we'll come back out tomorrow or Sunday and see what it looks like. But I'm pretty impressed, pretty happy with how it turned out. For not being a paint and body guy, it turned out okay. I think this will be the end of this episode and the end of this series on restoring this fuel tank. I may, like I said, come out tomorrow, see how it looks. I may shoot another light coat of paint on it tomorrow, but we'll let it cure for a few days and then we'll get it put back on the tractor. So probably the next thing we're going to work on is tidying up some of the wiring. Somebody has converted this tractor over to 12 volt and they used a Ford alternator with an external voltage regulator on it. I'd rather run a GM one-wire alternator on it, make it a lot easier to wire. And I've got a brand new one over on the shelf, so we'll get it put on. Clean up some of the wiring on the old girl. You do that to pass the time while we wait on this to cure. I don't want to put this on the tractor too quick before the paint's fully cured, scratch it. Don't want to spill any gas on fresh paint. You don't want to cure it before we put any gas to it. After we get the wiring done, then we'll get this tank back on it. Put some gas to it. And I've got some new fittings and stuff to run the new fuel on, so we'll get that done. But anyway, we're going to cut this episode right here, so I want to thank everybody for watching. If you can, hit that like and subscribe button. Share the video and share the channel with all your friends. And we'll see you next time.